Over in the party supply section, I have a great idea for a DIY. So I picked up this large bowl. I have this 2 set of plastic bowls, these little mini ones, and then I got this mini size too. So we're gonna put all this together and make a cool DIY for $4 for the structure. Next, I figured out how I wanted to stack up the bowls because I wanted a 3-tier tray system. And I'm gonna use the smaller bowls as my separators, and then my larger bowls are gonna be the 3 tiers. I'm gonna use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to hold the bowls in place. One, because the E6000 is going to hold it longer, and I used the hot glue so it would dry quickly so I could go ahead and spray paint it. Once I have all the bowls in place, I'm gonna take it outside and do 2 coats of a white spray paint. Now to fill up this bowl, you could really do a combination of anything. I'm gonna be using some of these natural rocks that I bought at Dollar Tree, and then I'm also gonna fill in with some Dollar Tree succulents. And here's a look at how it turned out. Back, I created a rope tray inspired by this picture that I found on Pottery Barn's website that I love so much. And I wanted to create another one of the rope trays in that same grouping. So I bought a tray at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna start with my nautical rope. It is linked down in my Amazon storefront. I will put the link down below for you guys. I'm gonna start in the middle, hot gluing the nautical rope in place, and then I'll continually put hot glue around, making sure that there's no spaces in between the nautical rope. Once I get about halfway done with my rope tray, I'm gonna cut off the nautical rope and I'm gonna come in with a black macrame cord. I'm gonna wrap this around probably about 3 or 4 times doing that same hot glue technique, and then I'll cut that off. And then I'll go back to the nautical rope. I'm gonna repeat this step, adding in nautical rope and the black macrame. Once you get to the very end, you're just going to cut off your nautical rope and you can hot glue it to the back. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this grouped with the other rope tray that I created. I hope that you guys have had luck finding these big planters at Dollar Tree this year. Let me know down in the comments if you've been able to find them. They are so nice, and for $1, it's kind of crazy. I'm gonna start by poking holes at the bottom of the planter for drainage. Next, I'm going to spray paint the planter with 2 coats of a flat black spray paint. Now, that's all I had to do, and it really updated this planter. In the planter, I'm gonna be adding in a fern, which is one of my favorite plants to get. They're usually around $12 at Walmart, and it's one that I could typically keep alive, so I like to get these, and I think they just look so lush. I definitely needed to create a wreath. I'm gonna be using those gold rings that I love from Walmart. You can get them in a pack of 3 for $2.88. I'm gonna be using the larger one. I also picked up a variety of florals from Dollar Tree and also some eucalyptus garland from Walmart. So I'm gonna start by adding the eucalyptus garland to the bottom portion. Next, I'm gonna be adding the white florals that I pulled off and add those to the bottom of the wreath. Now, all of these pieces I'm gonna be hot gluing on. I also had this little lavender mix that had some really cool like greenery pieces. So I'm gonna pull those off and add those around as well. Next, I just went in and added where I needed to add. So if I needed some more eucalyptus or some more white flowers, I added those in. Now this would be perfect on your front door. Here's the look at our wreath. Have you guys noticed that all of the high-end stores has a version of these chain links. And they're really cute. I think they make great decor, but they're so expensive. So I thought, you know, this would be fun to make. Plus, anything that's like really trendy like that, where you know it's gonna go out of style, I don't like to spend a lot of money on. So for this project, I'm going to get a tub of Crayola clay. And I wanna thank you guys for recommending this clay to me. It actually works so much better than the last project where I used clay and I asked for your recommendations. So thank you, thank you. This tub that I got, I purchased off of Amazon. I'll link it for you down below. Actually came with 4 packs in it. And for this project, I used 2 of the packs. So you could probably buy a lesser amount. I figured I'd use it for another project, and I liked that they were sealed up. That way it's not gonna go bad. So what I decided to do to make these chains is I grabbed out just a good amount of the clay and I started to roll it out. Then I decided I needed to make it pretty uniform. So I figured out, you know, the diameter that I wanted it to be. So I thought that I wanted each of them to be about 1 inch wide in diameter. And then I used just a little cutting tool that they have at Dollar Tree, and I cut off one edge and then I cut the other edge off at 17 inches. I thought that would make it really uniform and I wouldn't have to worry about them looking different. And then I just took the 2 pieces and put them together and tried to smooth it out so you didn't see that edge link. But I wasn't really worried about that because most chains have a little link like that, so I wasn't worried about that. And then I set that piece up to the top. And I repeated this for each of my links. As I kept making new links, I would check the thickness to make sure that the thickness was similar to the links that I already made because I wanted them to look pretty uniform. Then whenever I got one done and cut it, I would wrap it inside of one of my other links so that they were all connected together. Now, after you put in as many links as you want, the next thing you want to do is shape it to kind of figure out how you want it to look, because whatever shape it's in, that's how it's going to be sitting out on your coffee table. So if you want to elevate it now. Work with it until you're happy with the way that it looks. Then you want to let it dry for 24 hours. Now, I will say with this clay that the longer I let it sit, the more it dried. So I would say I didn't paint it until about day 2, but I've had it now for a long time and it's gotten harder over time. So this next part is totally your personal preference. I wanted it to first be painted white, so it was just a really consistent white color. So I went in with Waverly white chalk paint and painted it white. Now the color washing that I decided to do for this piece is I didn't really want it to have that much color, but I came in, I mixed a yellow and a red color, and I put that on. It kind of gave me like a mustardy color. And so I wiped that on and it was way too thick. So I came in with water. Anytime you want to dilute a paint, you want to add in water. So I added in water and then I took a paper towel and immediately wiped it off. So this gave me just a tiny, tiny bit of color, really not a lot at all. Then I wanted it to have a little bit of brown. So I used my Vintage Effects wash and put that on, wiped it with water the same way and wiped off any excess. So in the end, it just gave me a tiny bit of color on this piece, but that was the look I was going for. If you wanted it to be more of a wood look, you could definitely add more color. You know, really you could customize this any way you wanted. You could even go with gray. Here's a look at how it looks sitting out on my tray. Let me know what you guys think of this project. Would you do it or not? I'd love to know down in the comments. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.